Hello, everybody. My name is Justin McIlroth, and my research proposal is going to be on curbing veteran suicide. Moreover, how religion is related to curbing vet suicide. Um, I've had a few suicides in my family, and one was a vet. My cousin husband served in the Marines in the late 90s, and he just recently committed suicide in the past few months. So it's very near and dear to my heart. I don't like seeing those who have served get treated like dirt and have nowhere to turn. Uh, my emphasis is on how religion, in particular, helps curb suicide. Um, and I work with a lot of kids that claim they want to be taken to the hospital for a 5150, and they don't realize the implications of their words. Um, in recent years, PTSD and suicide amongst our armed forces has really increased. Lovelock in her humility study suggested in the future that we use greater religious and spiritual diversity. Uh, we really value humility, honesty, integrity. When you go to war, you lose sight of all those things. You're there for a job, and you need to really be on your toes, and sometimes you do things that are required that you necessarily wouldn't have done in the real world, in the civilian world. So, that creates a lot of PTSD, and a lot of service members, especially women, get sexually assaulted in the military sometimes. They feel like they have nowhere to turn because it's their superior. That creates PTSD. My proposal is getting everybody to sit down in a group and just kind of share, kind of like Celebrate Recovery or the way the VA does their group therapy, only not with a VA specialized counselor. My thing is to be able to have vets talk to regular counselors who are actually willing to listen, Christian counselors, pastoral counselors that are well known in their field, and really have them listen, not just try to be there for a buck or whatever. So I feel like that's where counseling has really gone to. They are just sitting there listening, tuning them out just to get their money sometimes. I know I've experienced that myself. And, we need people in there who really genuinely care about what the vet is saying. And, it's just sitting there listening, not judging. Listening is the whole key. And just having people come in that actually want help and go on about, trying to help with whatever's going on and getting the VA to actually follow through on the government's promises. Michael Hogan said in his editorial counseling as a whole has worked for numerous people in the civilian population. It's worked wonders that have aligned themselves for the VA, those vets, or just sought help on their own. When you see a homeless person on the street, we usually just walk past them. About 50 to 60% of those homeless people are vets that had nowhere to turn, got strung out on drugs, and just lost their mind. If the government would have followed through on their promises, they wouldn't be in that position today. Also recommend people go out of their way, counselors, try to see why they were homeless, any homeless person, and just try to see if there's any resources for them, and have them come in for a paid study if they're vets. Just have them get paid for their time there. That way, they have something to go off for that day. They don't have to worry about being hungry. They're trusting those people. That's the big key thing here, is getting the vets to trust you and keeping that trust deservingly. I know it's a wild concept for a lot of case studies to pay their participants or whatever. So we just need to, find them a reason to live and get them to stick with it. A lot of times religion is that key. It gives them something to live for. Not necessarily religion, but Christianity. The relationship with Jesus Christ. And just, not necessarily minister to them, but act in a way that Jesus would act. He fed the homeless. He sat with tax collectors. He genuinely loved and cared for everybody. In order to curtail that suicide, we also need to use things that have worked as a whole for the United States population for the vets. But we need to have counselors that are versed in the Bible and trained in counseling to where they can really get people to trust them, whether it's existential therapy, reality or choice therapy, or just cognitive behavioral therapy, to try to get them to see what exactly is going on and actually try to help them. Religion, if you sell it right, not a bunch of judgmental people that go to church. That's what a lot of people feel about church, is they feel like Christians are judgmental. Especially in the Norse pagan community, where they have had bad experiences with church. We need to change those experiences and get vets to come in and realize that we're just trying to help. We don't want them to die. We want them to live a fruitful life when they come back to the civilian world. We just need to show that we care. I know it's a wild concept. Just showing that we care about people. And through robust, well-designed research supported by the VA, the National Institutes of Health, and other agencies, we can tailor these programs Just allow them to talk if they want to talk. No, counselors are supposed to be listening and help them heal themselves. Nobody's going to heal themselves if they don't see the benefit and change. We need to tell them the benefits of those change and let them decide if they want to take them, not force them down their throat. Yeah, we need to get the government to follow through on their promises too. Work with them. Be an advocate for them. If they need a letter, write them a letter. If they need, but just getting people to come in and talk is the biggest part. Just finding ways to get them to come in and get them to talk and make them feel listened to, not make them feel alone. And it's a multifaceted problem, We gotta be well versed in vet culture, not make them feel racially judged or anything like that. We just gotta make sure they feel welcome and warm. They feel like they're a burden to us if they do that. They feel like they're a burden. They served their time. They once served. Now they feel like they didn't get what they were promised. That's why they go off the grid. That's why they want to be alone. That's why, all the PTSD episodes push people away. They just want to be left alone. Getting them to come in, get them to talk, get them to feel like they are wanted, and give them something to live for. Research questions are: how does religion play into preventing suicide? Veterans have less tendency for self-harm with religion, or do they have less tendency for self-harm just feeling listened to? You can't really quantify that. It's qualitative research. And I would suggest using a descriptive field design, because we have to let the vets know we're there. We have to go out into the field, try to advertise, get them to come to the group therapy, sit around, and just listen and let them talk. Let them feel welcome. And just being able to incorporate religion into that, or Christianity, and not act like holier than thou Christians, just like warm and welcoming Christians, like Jesus would have us do. The integration for this, the biblical principle here at work is the second great commandment. He commanded us to love others above ourselves. Love others as we would love ourselves. And loving Jesus is showing love to these veterans. They were sent there to do a job, they did it, and then they came home, they got nothing that they were promised. Most of these homeless vets feel that way. So we need to actually follow through on our promises and just keep, showing them that we care. Don't give up on them. Be there for them. Because we need to prevent vet suicide. And the only way to do that is gaining their trust and giving them something to live for. Now, in Matthew 22, Jesus gave the two great commandments. And he simplified the first 6 and the first 4 into loving God. The last 6 are loving your neighbor. Still the 10 commandments. Still the great commandments. But that's what the biblical principle is. Loving others. Showing love to those vets who served our country and died for our freedom, or were willing to die. And that's the biggest concept. Now it seems like, what, I have to go talk to people? It's like, no. You have to show love to people. Show love to those who love our country. Show love to those who died for your freedom. Show love to those who served and fought for your freedom against those who would want to eliminate Christianity altogether. They have the reason we can practice this, so we need to show gratitude and show love towards these armed forces veterans that really have nowhere else to go. We give them something to live for, chances are they're not going to commit suicide, but we have to convince them that they have something to live for. That comes with earning trust, earning faith, and earning the right to listen to them. All my sources are going to be in the bottom of the video, in the comments. So that's what I got. And hopefully, working together, it can work. Thank you.